tactic they could and spread lies with this petition door to door like 1950.
Burn.
And it worked. And the baby boomers,
oh my God.
Shake my
Please
head.
just go ahead and die,
Can you
guys.
just stop it?
Die.
I feel like Trump has gave the last little hoorah to the 80 and 90-year-old fucks who won't die.
And their pride will not let them change with the times. Change is good. Change is natural. We all fucking change. You can't fight it. It is one thing that you cannot fight in this life, and trying to just creates all this animosity and nastiness. You're stuck. That's why I like that quote by William Blake. A man who never alters his opinion is like standing water and breeds reptiles of the mind. If you're stuck in that time, you're stuck in that era while the rest of us is changing, you're going to be unhappy. You're going to be stagnant and nasty.
We are supposed to learn from what you have paved, not stay stuck in the cement of it. You know, like you got, like the civil rights movement, it paved, yes, but it doesn't stay stagnant at that. More things change. As the world change, the problems, that's that. What? Create a problem, create a solution.
I mean, you don't have
or there's a solution, but out of the latter half becomes a problem.
You don't have to become like a completely different person, but you do have to be aware. You can still keep...
They said we're going to be the tolerance police.
Oh my goodness.
I ain't even freaking tolerant of a lot of shit, but I know how to mind my business, keep my mouth shut, not engage, let them be who they want to be as long as it's not infecting me. Affecting.
A. Not E or I. A.
Right.
So,
I don't want your afflictions.
But the point is, you can't remain narrow-minded forever.
They say, yeah. And everybody's saying everyone is narrow-minded on both sides. And they're like, there's no compromise.
It's like, listen, it's like we're on the same page, but in different, whole different books.
So there's a misprint.
Or a misprint.
We are the misprint. We're on the same book, same page, but mine is misprint.
I mean, really, we're the minority because there's a lot of hate. You can say it's the 1%, but really it's the open-minded. There's a lot of hatred and narrow-minded people in this world. Are people who let their fears and emotions dictate their rational line of thinking instead of working together.
You know what they actually teach is you're not supposed to let emotion control your life. They say that. They say, oh, your heart can't lead.
But instead of working to understand their emotions, they suppress it. Right. And that is where the problem lies.
And if they might not even have these emotions if they didn't have religion or God.
Well, I don't think that. I think we would still have them. It just wouldn't mean the same thing to them.
You know, people would still hate gay people if it wasn't seen as an abomination.
No, I don't. That's what I said. But people would still hate, just not for the same reasons.
For individual reasons, like your personality sucks, or you do this, or that.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for an overall generalization of a group. You know what I mean? Like this Muslims. They hate all Muslims. When really, why don't you hate the Muslim law and the government? Why aren't you attacking the Muslim law and the government and not the people? Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't understand it. It's Cash.
Yeah, I know. It just, We're on... Anyway, so I understand completely. And... it's that fear of the unknown dictating your actions instead of working to understand. And that was the whole point of her freaking Human Rights Commission. Or revitalizing it. Revise is... Yeah, I know. So we all know. But, I mean, that was the whole point, was education. And to try to work to make people aware.
Right. We resurrected.
And then they just demonized it and crucified it and...
Right. And they got their signatures. They got their 2,000 and some signatures that they needed out of a population of 18,000.
And what it really is because they have money to throw at it. And that pisses me off. And now we're going to have to work twice as hard to accomplish the same fucking thing. And maybe less.
I don't even know what to do at this point.
I'm going to tell you what to do, but it's not going to be on our broadcast. I'm not giving them any kind of advantage.
I'm just saying, I almost feel emotionless because we went to city council. It's how it went down. We went to city council last night. We sat all through it. They broke out, and everybody was like, oh, we don't know what it is yet. Okay, so we won't know till the morning. I get home, literally. Go home straight from city council to my house, maybe 10, 15 minutes. As soon as I get home, I see a post that was posted 17 minutes ago. Some opponents of the Human Rights Commission get signatures.
And that's creating animosity,
and
too.
that's fucking being sneaky, deceptive, falsify. Like, they didn't even give, like, they should have told us at city council that's what it was for. What the fucking, if it was validated or not. If they were, if the validity of the signatures were fucking okay. Or not. And to find out through, it felt like a little kid was standing on a block. Hear all about it. Hear all about it. You know what I mean?
Oh, because nothing. Well, we've
breaking news.
Yeah. Well, this is probably the most the city's seen, civil rights wise, or even what I mean.
Since the 1980s.
Since the fucking 1980s. That's right, and that's fucking sad. So,
and our town is still severely segregated.
And we can't give up.
It is divided already, even without this Human Rights Commission. The idea was to bridge the gap, and it isn't the young people. It's the old people who get to stay at home. Obviously, 2,500 of them. If anything, we just weeded a bunch of people out. And then for the churches to back behind this as if they're allowed to be involved in a political move.
Yes, separation of religion and
state.
Because
I'm pretty sure that we could revoke them, and I will say this on the air, due to tax policies with the IRS.
We need to find a news outlet that isn't being swayed by their influences or their money.
Oh, they're definitely only telling their side of the story.
Exactly. We need to find some heart, someone that'll work with us. And, because, they're being fucking nasty,
they're
grimy snakes, and people should know.
They're lying. They're spreading information. The first thing they say the ordinance is about is men and women's bathrooms. They can't allow the gays and predators to be in your freaking, like, almost as if everybody on the planet is a fucking predator. Then they'll say potential. They say you're going against their freedom of religion. They said that you're going,
it's just
against their freedom of speech. Exercise your freedom of speech. Sign the petition now, is what the fucking VW sign read.
It's ridiculous. And we are stuck dealing with the backlash of other people's stupidity, ignorance, and
I full-hearted, and they're like, you guys aren't even trying. The Candace Newsom and Karen Ford expressed that we didn't even try to explain it to them. They need to sit down. We all need to sit together. Who the fuck does that?
Mind your own business. Dad always told me an important piece of information that I held with me, okay? And that was, in a personal setting, and even in a business setting, you have to separate them all. Separation of religion and state. There should also be separation of personal and religion and state, political. He said, don't ever talk about religion or politics in a personal setting, Rachel. He said, because it's rude. You never know who you're going to offend, and it just never ends well, so don't do it. And I took that to heart, like, oh, that's good shit. Thanks, Dad.
And then when you get on...
sorry, guys.
Then when you get on the subject of... the platforms that are presented, like, I mean, who the hell, and that's what it is. As long as gay people are included, they will not back down. It has nothing to do with the religion, has nothing to do with the speech. They never came to anybody and asked about it. Every time we tried to express what it was about, no name calling, no condescending, nothing. We just said, this is really what it is. They ban you. They block you. The comment I made was that's a picture of my daughter.
I'm gonna tell you, it's because you just made them feel stupid.
Yeah.
And they've already put all this time and energy into it. So why would they stop now? They can't go back.
And they lied again, saying that no one offered to sit down with them. How do you sit down? That's what the public hearing was for, and they chose not to listen.
And that's the division. They're
choosing to be divided.
Admitted. And no one wants to admit that they're wrong. But that's what defines us. How we react to being wrong. Some of us can admit we're wrong. Yeah. Most of us can't. And that is just ignorance in itself. If someone told me, hey, this is what it really is, I'm going to be like, oh, well, obviously I didn't fully understand that. I didn't care enough to fully understand that.
They don't even read the ordinance. These ladies didn't even read it. They had someone pick it apart. It's talking about the city manager is going to appoint people. The city manager has always done that. Every commission. And then they're like, they don't even know how commissions are ran.
That's why I just listen and
they're all ran the same way. We've been doing it for hundreds of years.
Well, I don't, I've never liked politics. I've never liked understanding how our stupid
I'm not gonna lie.
works, and that's from as a little girl standpoint.
I had to download a fucking vocabulary dictionary for some of the terms, because my knowledge of the terms is totally different than
what they mean it as. There's different,
And even in the Webster dictionary, just a normal dictionary, you don't find the political usage.
Version.
Right.
You got to get like a business.
So I was like, what the fuck? You know?
That's what business school is for.
Yeah, well, I ain't going there. Or political science.
Oh.
What the fuck? You don't need no degree to fucking politic it. You need to smile and lie, and I can't do that very well.
Right, I can't
and
do
these
it at
bitches
all.
are so smiley, and I'm going to call them evil bitches going around, because they should be, you know what you are? You're our dun-dun-dun moment of the day, Karen Ford and Candace Newsom. Dun-dun-dun. Because it's absolutely ridiculous, and you know what? And if this goes to a ballad,
now you're feeling. You're not emotionless now. I can hear it. Go ahead.
I don't know, because I don't. I mean, even I knew they were going to get their signatures because of the town we live in.
Yes,
and that just proves, in actuality, it doesn't only prove intolerance for gays. That's just an excuse. It proves that they're racist.
It. Well, it proves
they're fucking racist.
They're racist, and it proves that we need the education. It's just more reason to fight harder.
We're 4 years behind. We're 4 years behind the nation.
That's so sad. You're right. And music and music, we're only like
education.
Some months
our kids,
behind,
our test, our West test, that they keep drilling. Sorry, I'm not interrupted. Drilling into these fucking kids' heads. Is still making them 4 years behind the national fucking level?
Yeah.
Are you fucking kidding me? I wonder what... It was probably 10 years behind when we were in fucking school.
Right.
25 years behind.
Dude, I felt so insanely old, and I'm only 28. My son said... he was telling me about how he was struggling with the typing. And I said, well, why are you struggling with the typing? It's not hard. You look at the keys, you type. Look at what you're typing. If they give you a paper, you look at it, you type. It's like writing, but you're typing. He said, no, they don't let you look at the keys. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, they don't.
So you're learning shit that I was learning in high school in 4th grade. And I'm like, oh, God.
We didn't have computers, though. I didn't have a computer till I was in 6th grade. And then it was a lab.
I had a computer in grade school, but it was a very old computer.
Yeah,
and the only thing I could learn on it was how to spell.
You know, or the little math bubble shit. Carmen Sandiego. Where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? Did you have her? Do you remember the TV show?
No, I don't. I've heard people mention that are a little bit older than me, but not a lot older than me. And I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Did you have a hard disk yet, or a floppy?
I can't remember. This was in kindergarten. I remember learning how to spell in 1st grade on a floppy then, yeah.
Then you had, like, the thumb drive was a disc. You remember losing them discs and going and buying them stupid hard discs?
Fuck yeah, I do.
And everybody had to have one for class.
Yeah. That was by the time I hit, like, junior high and high school.
College is when the thumbstick came for me.
Yeah.
Or the memory stick.
Yeah.
So what does all that have to do with the Human Rights Commission? It means that the times fucking change. And you know what? You shouldn't be beating up gay people because they're gay.
Yeah.
All right? You want to ban them from your store, fine, but you don't have the right to physically attack them. And that's what this is about, is people who are physically attacked, murdered, and maimed on a daily basis for who they choose to have sex with.
Or believe in.
Or believe in.
Or not.
Because